Today is the day. Star Wars Squadrons has released. Myself and Eckhartsladder has been playing the game non-stop since it came out. So much so that Eck himself did a wild 6-hour stream of him playing the game on launch. It was nuts to see almost 4,000 of you coming out to watch whilst you were waiting for the game to release in your area. Well, hopefully you've had time to play the campaign or even online ranking by now. Before we get into it, a massive shout out to everyone on the EcksToo Discord that helped by giving tons of useful, interesting questions to use in the video. If you're looking for a really tight-knit, active community that loves everything Star Wars and more, definitely hit that link in the pinned comment to join our Discord. You'll seriously not regret it. So this video is for those who still need some more time with the game, or perhaps those who haven't got it already. Some of you might have some questions that need answering that help you determine if this game is for you. Maybe you feel you need a second opinion on a particular loadout that you're currently running, or perhaps you're at school or at work and you haven't had time to pick it up and play it yet. This is where the video will definitely help you out the most. So without further ado, here is 30 questions about Star Wars Squadrons answered. Question 1. Do you think TIE Defender will be added to Star Wars Squadrons? We already covered this in a previous video, but personally I don't think any more content updates will come that will include the ship into the game. I think it's quite safe to say that the 8 ships that are playable right now are the only ships that you'll get to play. While 8 might sound like a very small number in the Star Wars terms, I really wouldn't worry because the customizability for each ship is so large and the skill ceiling for every other class is so high that you're going to need hours, if not days, if not months, to really get the most out of each class. Will there be HOTAS support for Xbox Squadrons users? Yes, this came out as a day 1 patch for everyone on consoles, so PS4 and Xbox One users can use their HOTAS setup for console gameplay. Question 3 is, what customization options are there for your chosen ship? There are some basic customization options that decrease your max speed but increases acceleration, decreases maneuverability but also increases max speed, so on and so forth. But there are also some more complex customizations that allows you to stop and start a lot faster, so any ships that are chasing you can accidentally fly past you and then you can hone them down. Others can allow you to be completely off the radar. You can change out your torpedo launchers for ones that can stun ships. And if I'm going to be honest, I think there's some customizable options there that can be really popular over the standard ones. One of my favorites is the Incom Slam engine, which decreases max speed, but your ship generates boost power if there is any power in the engines, which allows you to really go in on objectives and come out super fast without having to put so much power into your engines at the beginning. Question 4 is, how effective are the Imperial line of ships considering they have no shielding? If I'm honest, I actually prefer them over the Rebel ships. For one, their cockpits are a lot more easier to read, although that's a bit more subjective because the more you play, that issue will become less of a problem. There is also the other aspect that you don't have to worry about a third statistic, which is shields. You only have to focus on maneuverability and power. But the biggest thing that I think makes Imperial lines of ships a lot more stronger than the Rebel ones is the fact that you can use an ability to heal yourself instead of having to use shields. I get a little confused over the UI for the shielding, but I believe I'll get over that very quickly. So right now, it's not a fully formulated opinion, but at the moment, I'm really enjoying the Imperial line of ships. Not to mention that the TIE Interceptor feels absolutely amazing. Question 5 is there any firepower weapons that feel unbalanced? Actually, no, I don't think there is at all. You do have quite a few components that changes out your laser cannon, but there isn't anything there that rewards more skilled players. There is some components that allow auto aim of your laser cannons in the X-Wing and the U-Wing, for example, but you literally lose 3/4 of the damage with those guided laser cannon shots. So whilst it might help players that are trying to learn the game, it's definitely going to do a lot less damage. You're going to really struggle to kill enemy players. And I think that's a nice balanced approach to it. When you're in the U-Wing, you're not really wanting to focus on firepower against enemy ships. So guided laser cannons might be nice to guarantee at least some damage if you find yourself in a little bit of a skirmish when you don't want to be. I think that component would be really useful for ships that don't have guided torpedo launchers. Question 6 is, how does the weapon customization loadout work? It's pretty simple. You can organize it all in the menu before you go into a game, and it's split out into different sections like primary weapon, left auxiliary, right auxiliary, countermeasures, hull, shields, engines, and so on. And each of these subsections have different components that can change up the gameplay of that ship. So yeah, there's a lot of customization. What loadouts do we get when starting the game? Each ship has some differentiation in customizability. So you start off with some different components per faction per ship. So for example, the X-Wing, the primary weapon is a standard laser cannon, which is very similar to the Battlefront 2's Starfighter Assault game mode, etc, etc. And support ships like the U-Wing and the TIE Reaper has components such as supply droids that allow you to heal other players, and then also turret mines that you can throw out into the air which will auto-fire at enemy players. Question 8 is, what is your personal favourite loadouts? Whilst I haven't really been able to play with many components right now, because I've just only played about 4 to 6 hours of the game, one thing I do love is in the countermeasures component section. I have to say, Seeker warheads are the best for taking out guided missiles. For the rebels, you do start off with the sensor jammer, but I really recommend you get the warhead. Question 10 is, how do you do the drift maneuver? I gotta say, I haven't really played a lot of Interceptor. I believe only Interceptors can do this, maybe the TIE Fighter as well, although I'm not sure. Eck has pulled it off a lot, and you can see it in the stream he did last night. Personally, for me, I haven't done it yet, so I'm really sorry, I don't know. But my assumption would be that you go at boost speed and then you pull back and turn at the same time. Question 11 is, what offline offerings are there for Squadrons? Well, first you have the campaign, obviously, but then next you have dogfights, and then you have fleet battles versus AI, alongside practice and fleet battle tutorials. Question 12 is, can you still progress in the game when you're offline? Yes, you can still launch the game while you're offline and off the internet, but you can only play the story and fleet battles against AI. Question 13 is, how much do you unlock when playing against boss? Is it viable? For me, yes, you do get quite a bit of XP, especially the first win of the day, which also contributes quite a bit, but you do get more points while playing ranked game modes. But personally, yes, I think you can reach level 40 pretty comfortably in the offline modes. Question 14 is, what do you exactly unlock every level? Every level up earns you requisition, which allows you to unlock ship components. Alongside that, you get glory, which can unlock cosmetics. Question 15 is, do you play better with or without VR? Personally, no, I don't think you play better with VR. Even though we made a video discussing about the FOV advantages you get with VR, accuracy does take a hit because you have to be laser focused at what is right in front of you. It isn't impossible in VR, it's definitely doable, but you get a much better job done when playing out of VR. But obviously you want to play VR for the experience, not for trying to be the best player in the game. What is better, keyboard, controller, or HOTAS? Whilst I haven't played with HOTAS yet, Eck has. Eck highly suggests a HOTAS because of all the macros that are programmable on the joystick. For controller, it requires a lot more one click and then another click to get to a certain option, and that delay can mean absolutely everything. If you have an Xbox Elite controller, however, you can program those extra buttons to solve that issue. Keyboard is really janky for me at the moment because you get that very slow drag as you move the ship around with your mouse. That makes slight movement difficult, and controllers do a lot better job at it. Question 17 is Squadrons full positional tracking? Not really. It has head tracking, which allows you to look all around your cockpit. But if you stand up, the character isn't going to stand up inside the ship as well. And personally, that makes sense to me. I wouldn't really see any viable reason to do that. So head tracking is good enough for me, I think. Question 18 is, I have PSVR for my PlayStation and a PC. Which platform should I get Squadrons on? For me, personally, I think you should get it on the PlayStation 4, especially if you're going to upgrade to the PlayStation 5. You're not really missing out too much by playing it on the PC apart from keyboard, and keyboard doesn't really play very well on it. If you're going to get an Xbox console for the next generation, I would actually go with PC instead. This is just because you can't move your account from one platform to another, unless you're moving from PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5, for example. Question 19 is, how much customizable options are there? It differs from ship to ship, X-Wing definitely getting a lot more customizability than others, but there is an absolute ton, and it's going to take a long time for you to test out every single one to really fine-tune the ship that feels the best for you. Question 20 is, should I get this for just the single player? Personally, I don't think so. The game is definitely being geared for online play with friends against other people, and whilst there's plenty of options for offline play, if you're just buying it for the campaign, I don't know if it's going to be enough for you for the price tag. Question 21 is, what is the main thing to keep me playing Squadrons? Personally, it's the skill ceiling. You're going to be wanting to improve again and again and again and go against tougher and tougher players. The replayability comes from you wanting to perfect your ability to play the game. Think like Overwatch or League of Legends, where you're playing the same maps again and again, but you're getting better and better and better. It will take a year, if not more, to become an actual master at this game. Question 22 is, what is the main thing to keep me away from playing Squadrons? I think the people that are only laser focused on the campaign and nothing else is probably not going to pick this game up again after they played it. The replayability comes from the multiplayer aspect, not the single player. Although the campaign is very well done and you're definitely going to enjoy it either way. What is your favorite thing about Squadrons right now? For me, instantly finding the right classes for me. I was actually quite taken back. I thought I'd really like the interceptor classes, but I actually ended up liking the fighter classes instead. Alongside also playing support, it's really nice to have a clear indication that you're helping your teammates a lot, and support players are drastically needed in a team comp. Question 24 is, what is your least favorite thing about Squadrons right now? For me personally, it's some clarity on some move sets that you have for some ships. Maybe it's just me, but when I was playing the U-Wing, I was throwing my auto-aim turrets on ground and rock, thinking it needed to be landed somewhere. There was no visual clarification on where I should be placing it, nor did it look like it was actually working. My other nitpick is taking damage. It can be quite difficult to exactly know where that damage is coming from. Question 25 is, how many loadouts can I save? You can save 2 loadouts for each ship. Question 26 is, can I play AI only with my friends? Yes, you can, with 4 other friends, totaling a team of 5. Question 27 is, favorite VR headset for Squadrons? If price and computer power isn't an issue, I recommend either the Valve Index, the HP Reverb G2, or the Oculus Quest 2. If it is an issue, however, I recommend the normal Vive or the Rift S. Question 28 is, favorite ships right now? My absolute favorite right now is the TIE Fighter. Really strong damage, really good maneuverability. Apart from that, I really enjoy using the U-Wing or the TIE Reaper. Question 29 is, class you're most surprised by? For me, definitely the fighters. I was really surprised by how much fun they are. You also trade off very little for playing them instead of the interceptor, although the X-Wing definitely does feel a little bit sluggish. Class you're most disappointed by? Right now, it's more the interceptor, but that's because I'm just not used to the speed and maneuverability those ships have. Once I have a better understanding of spatial awareness and the control of these ships, I might enjoy them more. But in my first 6 hours of gameplay, I was seeing myself bump into so many obstacles and dying to pilot error, and even taking a lot of damage by being outside of the main area of the map. Well, there you have it. That is 30 questions about Squadrons answered. What do you think? And personally, what is your favorite thing about Squadron? I'd love to know. Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And if you want more videos like these covering Squadrons, definitely hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. It goes a really long way for our channel, and we've got so much Squadrons content coming your way. And if you want me to do another one of these 30 questions answered videos, definitely let me know the questions you would like to be answered in the comments down below. But other than that, I've been Charlie. You've been watching EcksToo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.